Welcome to Rethink Healthcare. It's Wendy Ball and
Mr. Montenegro.
Mr. Montenegro. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm doing good too. I'm just thinking about like food and eating and trusting my gut. Right?
Are you having stomach issues or something?
No, I'm thinking about probiotics and what's good for my gut. Isn't that what we're talking about today? Trust your gut?
Is this like a GI lecture or
Something like that, you know?
or gut like a gut feeling?
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
So we gotta decide, are we talking about gut like going to the bathroom gut or
That's what I thought.
intuition?
I was all ready to talk about my gut and what I ate today and what I'm gonna eat tomorrow and getting some good probiotics in, having my yogurt, but I think you're right. I think we should talk about the other gut. Your instincts.
Intuition.
Intuition, yes.
Okay.
Mr. Montenegro,
Yes.
intuition.
So I guess as nurses, do you trust your gut?
I think I do. And I think that comes with, sometimes it's just that feeling that, you know, something's off or wrong. I think it also grows with experience and time of just,
You mentioned the key word with that
I
is
did.
your intuition or your gut, right? Your gut feeling is really born from experience
It is.
and time and experience. The longer that is, the more intuitions you end up having. So there's always been a thing as far as like there's nothing scientific about a gut feeling, but that's actually incorrect.
Okay.
There's a lot of science behind your intuition because you will not have an intuition without having the experience.
So my husband, we were both EMTs, believe it or not. We were about like 18 years old, running around on the ambulance. People were letting us drive this thing, come into their homes, and it's crazy. I look like I was 12 years old.
Wait, when I was 18, I was running around after girls, not in an ambulance.
I know. Maybe you were in the back of the ambulance, right? But for him, he decided to become a paramedic this day. He went on a call, and he was running with another EMT that was a paramedic. And the patient had fallen, and long story short, the paramedic there was like, we need to call a trauma triage. And he was like, what? This patient's totally fine. And don't you know, the patient ended up coding, and he's like, I want that. I want that intuition and that gut. And he went to paramedic school, and now he's been a paramedic for about 27 years, and guess what he has? A good gut. And we're not talking gut health, we're talking intuition. So I think you're right. Like we see that in other people, we want that. And I think experience, time, knowledge, even knowledge.
They all play in together because you wouldn't be able to get experience without having a base knowledge. And as you increase your knowledge base, you gain more experience as well because you're exposing yourself out there. So they all go hand in hand. So naturally, somebody who has more experience may have more intuition on what's going on. Somebody brand new may not, because everything is being processed as a new information to them. So you see that with not just in the healthcare field, but also in any other fields. I mean, you see it in business. You would see it in market traders. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on there. Now, the one thing I'd like to kind of add into that with as your let's stick with nurses, right? As nurses get older and get more experience, right? Keep in mind too, what is also maturing is technology.
Yes.
So as an experienced nurse, they may have done things according to what they have learned from time. However, new technology is always being developed. So somebody who's newer but is more attuned to the new technology may use different factors in developing their gut or their intuition.
I always say they'll be smarter than the technology because a human person program that. And when your GPS tells you to turn left and there's a river there, please don't turn left into the river. Right? Just like if your patient's talking to you and they look asystole on the monitor, please don't start CPR. We don't want to do that, right? So yes, technology is awesome, but trust your gut with that. And even I'm thinking about, what about patients, like a mom that comes in with a baby and they know there's something wrong? What do you feel about that intuition and gut in that mom?
That's when the listening comes into play. You don't discount what they're saying. You take it into account. I mean, as the clinician, you still need to make your assessment to gather what is going on, but then also keep in mind too, what is that mom saying?
Yeah, because she's with that child all the time.
Exactly.
She knows there's something different. Again, experience time
Yeah.
with that. So we can't discount our patients and kind of the gut feeling they may have at times. So I love that listening part.
Yeah, so because a lot of times, right, when we look at, not just a patient, but even in other industries, like, in technology perspective, right, or in information technology, the first question that we always look at, let's say from a technology perspective, right, let's say we're working with software computers. If something is wrong, the first question we have is, what is different? What changed?
Yeah.
Because that's usually our first clue to look to see, okay, well, why is it behaving this way? What changed? If you think of your patients, right? What are you always looking at? Okay, what is a change from their baseline? From the mother, what is the change from what they know the child behaves?
Yes. Yeah.
If usually they're very, very active, all of a sudden they're a bit somnolent, don't just say, they're just tired today. Are they more somnolent because do they have an infection? So those are the things. So sometimes you may not be able to really pinpoint what your gut is telling you.
But something's not right.
That means to say, okay, let's continue investigating.
Start critically thinking what could be those problems. I always say to my students, it's better for you to just say that there's something off with this patient and you can't pinpoint it, than you going home that night and coming back to work and being like, oh my goodness, I knew something was wrong with that patient. Speak up. Get other eyes there, other ears, other, people looking at that patient if you got that feeling that something's off.
So I think one of the things to keep in mind too is, since we're treating the human body as nurses, right? The human body always wants to be in homeostasis. So your vital signs may still appear normal, right? But there's something else going on. For vital signs or clinical conditions to drastically change, a lot of things have already failed.
Yes.
Because your body is always interacting. I mean, I always look at this when I'm trying to determine laboratory values. It may seem normal, but then there's a lot of mechanisms going on to keep it normal.
Yeah.
So you're always trying to dig into, okay, what is it? What is the kidney doing to keep that potassium normal?
Yeah, I always think with the homeostasis as like a seesaw, right? And you're trying to keep it level. But you're right, your body kicks in to keep that homeostasis. And until something maybe is a little more drastic, are you going to have those bigger, obvious changes?
And your intuition really kicks into that if you don't really know exactly. But that's always your clue. So somebody may say, the vital signs are stable, but you still feel something's off. Keep digging.
Keep digging.
Yeah. I mean, because somebody may just not want to be bothered to do something, right? Maybe the attending doesn't want to be bothered, or it's just looking at the most baseline. And maybe it could be a new attending and it's not seeing the whole picture.
Yep, absolutely.
While as you are. Yeah. I mean, slight increase in heart rate, but the blood pressure is normal. Could be fine. I mean, you may have your normal range, but if they're on the extreme ends of normal, those are clues.
So knowing your patient's baseline, if their normal heart rate is 60 and now it's 90, it's still within that normal range, but it is way higher than their norm.
Exactly.
Same with blood pressure. If there's blood pressure is normally 100 over 60 and now it's 138 over 84, that is an increase for them. So knowing those norms,
Yeah.
and the baseline of what that patient is. I love that. That's a good point. So we always want to trust our gut, and I'm sad that we weren't talking about food because I love food. I love dessert. I like chocolate. I like dessert. I don't know if I like food. I like food. I like dessert.
I'm still waiting for my steak.
I know. We never got the
We
steak.
never got the steak yet.
I know. We're
so.
going to have to do the steak. Maybe somebody needs to.
You gotta fill my gut up.
Yeah, with all that good stuff. So trust your gut. Okay. Have good gut health also. And we'll see you next time. Bye.